It's that time again.
Watch out! Here it comes. Watch out! Here it comes. Watch out! Here it comes. Watch out! Right there. Attention, folks. We came here.
Come to the Courtside Podcast. I'm your host, Wayno, and with me, the People's Champ,
Champ is here!
V-Rock. Vince, welcome back to the show.
Champ is here!
Oh, thrilled to be back. Thanks for having me back.
You could be a little bit more convincing next time.
Oh, super stoked to be back, Wayno. Can't wait to talk about bloody Utah and Houston.
And of course, we're joined by Sydney's second richest man, Stu Benson.
Good evening, gentlemen. 2 nights in a row. How lucky am I? And Wayno, that was easily the second best introduction you've done this week.
Eastern Conference one was better?
Yeah, it was. You'll play this one back, and you'll have intro remorse.
Damn it. Hurts a little. Cuts a little deep.
That's all right. That's okay. You can win us back on episode 3 of season 2018-19.
Sweet as. Well, guys, thanks for joining us all. Thanks for the downloads. Thanks for the stream. We are keen to get back into this. Of course, last episode we covered the Eastern Conference, our playoff predictions for the year. Craziness ensured. Look, Eastern Conference, I don't know. Like, as far as picking 8, it's basically a layup in the East, really, until you hit that sort of 8th seed. I think tonight's going to be a little bit more tougher with the Western Conference. So, look, without further ado, the Western Conference, let's start with, they played today, the Golden State Warriors, guys.
Scrubs. No hope. They're tanking for Zion Williams.
Oh, they're throwing this year.
They just might get him too. They get everyone else.
Yeah, they do.
I mean, look, it goes without saying, playoff bound. I'm sure you guys are much like me, pretty keen to see when we see DeMarcus Cousins and production, what we're going to get from a DeMarcus Cousins.
Quality is what you're going to get. Quality.
Yeah. I think they're in a very fortunate position that there is no rush on him. When he hits the court, I think he'll be ready despite limits on his minutes. But, yeah, they'll just save him up and they're going to roll him out come playoff time. And, holy shit, they just get better.
Not sure they can get past the Lakers, but we'll see.
Fair comment.
Ludicrous comment. Ludicrous. Look, game 1, we spoke about before we hit the air tonight, their first game tonight against OKC, and man, Steph Curry the league's in trouble if he's going to play like that all year. He looked fantastic. He looked like his MVP self. I mean, just going down the line, like this roster, man, it's just super impressive. I still feel like Clay is overlooked in all this. Man, Iggy's still there.
Honestly, let's say we fast forward to February and he's ready to go and he's trotted out. Has there ever been a better 5 in the history of the league? For my money, there hasn't. Starting 5-wise, like if you think that any 5 that has been on the court at any given time in sort of prime production years, they are going to have Steph, Clay, Draymond, Kevin Durant, and Marcus Cousins on the court at the same time. That's ludicrous.
Team USA.
Basically. It's insane. I mean, you could maybe compare it to Lonzo, Kuzma, LeBron, Ingram, and Zubac, but
maybe.
Apart from that, who else you got?
Maybe you could do that.
Fickle.
Don't you guys be like this all bloody night, please. It's going to be a long edit as it is. Fucking hell. It's going to be a long season. I just realised, it just hit me then, actually, what a long season this is going to be for me.
Yeah, no idea, buddy.
Can we just jump to 2019 already, 2020, because fuck me.
Yeah, I know, because then we'd have to just talk about our championship.
Oh, my God. If you guys win it, I'm fucking retiring.
Let's not forget they picked up a handy role player in Jerebko.
Oh, Jonas, yeah, from Utah last season. Nice.
Big guy can hit the 3.
He's what a curious career. He seems to almost like to play for a different team every season. But but honestly, he's like a journeyman on purpose, and he gives good production everywhere he goes. He's a real solid guy.
If he didn't do his Achilles a few years ago playing for Detroit, I think he would have been a lot better.
I think so. I think that it would have been hard for them to let him go.
Yeah.
He was a top 10, wasn't he?
Geez, you're testing the memory, but I might have been.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I'll have to double check that.
Google is your friend.
I just thought that he was a little bit underutilized in Utah last year.
Pretty deep, though.
Well, I was going to say, but the roster was pretty solid, so yeah, no, I agree. Playoffs all around for the Wizards, the Washington Wizards. Oh my God,
they're the Wizards of the West.
They are kind of like Wizards.
They're nothing like them.
Yeah. In the upside down world, they are exactly the opposite of them. Playoff bound, of course. Look, I'm sure we'll be covering more Golden State throughout the year, so we'll leave it there.
I think if I can just jump in, I couldn't have been more off. Jonas Jerebko was 39th pick.
Oh, you were close.
Second round of the 2009 draft. So,
Stu, you've got to learn never let the truth get in the way of a story.
Mate, you were very convincing. I was convinced. I was like, maybe he was. I thought he was like 12th, but yeah.
I think I read somewhere that Stephen A. Smith redid the 2009 draft and he drafted him 7th.
That sounds very convincing.
How was that?
Let's go with that.
You might be too honest for this podcast.
I'm out. It's been real.
We're jumping now to the Utah Jazz we just touched on a little while ago. Not so much any major moves, but some more tweaks for the Jazz roster this upcoming season.
They added your boy Grayson Allen.
You know what? I want to hate him, but I kind of like what I've seen from him and Donovan Mitchell already. I'm like, they look like they're bonded and they look like they're mates and playing really well together. God damn it.
You know what? I really wanted to hate him too, but I'm with you.
Fuck it. It's annoying, right? It's annoying.
I think I called it during the draft show. He is going to be a great NBA player.
Yeah. Look, I'm all on board as long as he doesn't pull the tripping shit.
Yeah, as soon as he trips, I'm out.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
I'm selling my shares and I'm out. I think, once again, Donovan Mitchell had a great rookie season, but there's still some improvement in Donovan Mitchell. They're going to get better just by adding Grayson Allen. I think Jay Crowder will be better for a season in the system.
Yep.
And you know what? Joe Ingles, there's still a little bit of improvement in him left as well. We all know he can shoot, but he just looks more and more comfortable every year on the NBA court.
Yep.
And I expect my boy, Ricky Rubio, to just keep blossoming, run the show superbly, which they should never have got rid of him in Minnesota. That's a story for another day. But yeah, look, I'm expecting playoffs big time for the Jazz, and I think they'll go as far as Donovan Mitchell can take them.
It's hard not to co-sign all of that. Look, they lost Rudy Gobert for a chunk of last season, and carried injury through into the playoffs as well. I think a healthy him, certainly one of the top centers in the league, a defensive presence that lets the guys, not so much, I wouldn't say slack off on D, but they can get ready to initiate a pretty quick offense off the back of his rim production. With Rubio running that point, Mitchell, and Ingles flanking the wings, these guys are, look, if they can make a leap as a cohesive unit, remembering, that they're going to have Crowder for longer, and they've played with him for longer as well. These guys, I don't know what their ceiling is. I don't know. I'd love to see them in a 7-game, in a pivotal, Houston Rockets series or a Golden State Warriors series. I think they could really make some noise. They're certainly playoff bound, and I think they're better than last year. So who knows what they could do?
I just think the extra year under the belt now after the playoff run, well, twice now. The Hayward year that they made it, and then they followed that up last year. Obviously, Donovan Mitchell's a big year. You nailed it, Stu. For me, the Rudy Gobert. He's got to stay healthy. They have proven they can win without him, but my God, he makes such a difference on the court.
Huge.
Yeah. Yep. I want to see them use a little bit more of Alec Burks. I know I've ragged on him in the past, but he showed some glimpses last season, and early on preseason, he's looked pretty good. But so he should. He's a fucking vet. Like, Jesus Christ. Get your shit together or get out of town, pretty much. The one guy that we've talked about when we brought up Utah that I always, I suppose, in the past, really until last season, considered a bit expendable for this Utah squad is Derek Favors, and I'm actually really glad he's back with the Jazz this year. He's been huge with any role they put him in.
Yeah, it was great for them in the playoffs. He really was.
I think we're all unanimous with our love for Coach Quinn.
Yep.
Oh, big time.
Yeah, I just think he's going to have... I think the difference with this squad moving to this year from the vibe I've gotten off social media and just the interviews I've read with Snyder and things like that is I think he's going to have this Utah Jazz team ready to go off the bat. And I could easily see them finishing top 4.
Yeah, well, it's funny because I've got them third in my
Do you
rankings.
really?
Yeah, I think they're that good.
Whoa.
And it's just a team that's built the right way, you know? Like they didn't take any shortcuts building this squad, and like they've just got such a strong, solid core now. I mean, we didn't even touch on Dante Exum, who's looked pretty good so far as well.
Yeah, really hoping he can have somewhat of a breakout year, Dante. Just saying, he's had such a bad run with bloody injuries. But yeah, no, look, I've got them third. I just think they're going to improve that much. And like you said, Wayne, Quinn Snyder does a great job.
God, I want him as a coach.
What's that?
I want him as a coach. God damn it. God damn it.
Who is your coach?
Who's coach?
Memphis' coach. Who's his coach?
We have a coach?
It's your owner, isn't it? That's Justin Timberlake.
Justin Timberlake coaches.
Somebody won it in a competition. There's a
No,
colouring competition
no.
in the Memphis Tribune.
We got the clean-up coach. We got JB Bickerstaff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, good luck with
Well, I think, we mentioned it a couple of times, and we weren't the only ones. I think Bill Simmons, after he listened to one of our podcasts, mentioned it on his. They're like a new age, fun version of Spurs ball. I mean, that passing, that they all slide, they all shift, they can guard multiple positions. It's like a new age version of the Spurs, and it's a fun brand of basketball to watch. And these guys, I think, are going to rank in a lot of defensive categories. Donovan Mitchell's a great on-ball defender. Ricky Rubio's an underrated defender. You've got Ingles is a great defender. You've got Gobert backing you up. Jay Crowder's a defensive specialist. These guys are I genuinely believe they're going to probably hold most teams to their lowest average of the year.
Well,
I think we're unanimous. They're going to the playoffs.
Playoff bound for sure. Well, oh man, let's just get this out of the way now. The Memphis Grizzlies, gentlemen. The Memphis Grizzlies.
Do you really want to talk about them? They're like the Atlanta Hawks of the West.
God, well, yeah. Look, we're going to have a better year than last year, so that's a plus. I've really enjoyed what I've seen now from Marshawn Brooks. He's been giving us solid minutes. No, he's been playing well. He's been playing well. Yeah,
I feel bad for you even having to say sentences like that.
I know.
Brooks.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about Marshawn Brooks.
No, he's been playing well. He's been playing well. I hope he...
in Europe.
Well, he's back in the league, so, hey, he's been playing well for us. It all comes down to...
You go, Marshawn.
Look, it all comes down to the health of Conley and Gasol, really, for our season.
No, it doesn't.
The roster's a fucking mess. Management's a fucking mess. The questionable signings this off-season, I mean, I do think Kyle Anderson will turn out all right, but, I mean, he's not a starting small forward. Get the fuck out of here. What the fuck are you thinking? Fucking shit. We don't even have... Then our fucking... Oh, my God. I'm getting so angry right now just talking about this. JB Bickerstaff. Fucking hell. We fucking signed him long-term. Are you shitting me? He's not a real coach.
Nothing.
That
means nothing.
He's fucking just a nothing coach. He's not a coach.
No, but he's pretty proven. Oh, no, sorry.
No, he's not.
Nothing coach goes with your nothing players, mate.
Well, look, Jaren Jackson Jr., well, I mean, look, he seems to be everyone's, the twinkle in everyone's eye at the moment. I'm not sold on him. I'm not sold on him.
Give him the ball.
Yeah, agree. He can play. You should get on this bloke.
I don't like getting on blokes with Vince.
Why you didn't? I've seen your photos. I beg to differ.
You don't have enough evidence to convince us otherwise, mate.
Continue.
Oh wow, I'm thrown. Why you did not trade Marcus Gasol and Mike Conley out of there for picks it's just crazy. You should start it. Look, I'm looking at the roster right now.
Why are you saying it like it's me? Fuck you. I agree with you. We had Chandler Parsons on our fucking roster. The man we do not speak of.
I know you've got a line to Timberlake, part owner, so get onto it.
The first rule about Memphis Grizzlies, we do not talk about said person on Memphis Grizzlies.
Look, they should have traded those two out. Start again. You've got a nice piece to start around Jaren Jackson Jr. Should have stretched Parsons. Build through the draft again because you're not going to attract free agents. No one wants to play.
Well, that's the thing. We've never had that ability. We've always attained guys through trades and traded for guys with long-term contracts. It worked out with Zebo. Obviously, Marc Gasol we drafted. Yeah, it's never been a case for us. And that's the biggest fucking piss in the pocket for me about all this shit is that, we can't. Online, they're like, oh, you can't get mad at said person. But his management's big fucking signee. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's like, we can't yell at management because they're not on the floor, but we sure as hell can yell at him. Like, the problem with the Grizz fans is that he represents them. Do you know what I mean? Like,
and it's really easy to yell at him as well because he sits in the stands.
Yeah, he's sitting right next to us.
I think your best hope is to be renamed the Vancouver Grizzlies and see if you can get out of Memphis.
In saying all that, I don't think we're as bad as everyone says we are.
You're worse.
No, we're not. We're not. We had an injury plague year last year. If everyone's healthy, we're all right.
You're terrible.
We're not really. We're not really.
Terrible.
We're not really.
You just said I'm really excited about Marshawn Brooks.
I like Marshawn Brooks. Why can't I like Marshawn Brooks?
So there's two people that like Marshawn Brooks, the GM and you.
Yeah, right here. Whatever. Move along.
Oh, geez, he gets touchy, doesn't he?
Hang on, we didn't get to say playoff bound or not.
Do we need to?
Oh, really?
Do we need to? Lottery sound, my friend. Lottery sound.
Why do you get all shirty? Why do you get all angry?
Because of you. It's not them, it's you, Vince.
As a fan, though, you've got to get fucking sick and tired of this. Like, if these two are healthy,
100%.
These two are healthy.
No, dude, I mean,
hell.
Everyone heard me on the draft shows. Everyone knew what I wanted to do. I was happy for a rebuild. Like, I was happy for Vince, we all three of us, we talked about this before. Like, Vince's main point with, like, and he's right, Gasol's over the hill, right? Like, his body's breaking down on him. I didn't like his fucking attitude last year as it was. I thought he had a very quit. And I think the spotlight really came back on him once all the shit came out about what actually went down with Fizdale. I think he had a lot of egg on his face. Look, I'm happy to sit on the contract of Mike Conley if it means we can unload and bring in youth and young talent that we can attain longer. I mean, fuck, let's do that.
Maybe one day.
Yeah.
Playoff, not bound. Lottery sound.
Yeah, we're lucky to win 25 games.
We win more than that.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, let's move along to another team, which you gentlemen are yet to pay up on a slap bet. Well overdue. When's the slap bet?
I keep dropping out. Are you guys there?
Yeah, I can't hear you.
I can hear you.
The New Orleans Pelicans, gentlemen. New Orleans Pelicans. Cracked the playoffs last year. Some thoughts on this roster? I mean, obviously they lose DeMarcus Cousins, but they lost him at a pretty important part of the year last year and thrived and played well. Obviously, he did not go back there. Some good new additions for this squad as well.
They have to be playoff bound.
I've got a playoff bound.
Yeah, I don't. I must say.
Wow. Okay.
Not that I don't like their additions. You know how much I love my boy there, Julius, but I just don't see them making the playoffs.
Really?
They've brought in Wesley Johnson. Mm-hmm. Yay. But again, I'm looking at Jalil Okafor, and again, I know we covered it, but it's like, why did you go to the Pelicans? It baffles me. Injured again, by the way, Jalil Okafor.
Yeah.
Alfred Payton brought in, doesn't bring great outside shooting, which is, I think they really desperately need. I think they're going to miss Cousins. I don't know. I just look at this roster; it just doesn't excite me.
There's an X factor for me in this,
Which is,
and it's the Rondo factor. Rondo really made everything work last year for the Pelicans and allowed Drew Holiday to slip to that 2 and play the 2 guard spot. Yeah. It's not such an easy task to go and replace a guy like that. Do you know what I mean? Because Rondo is a password point guard. He's a veteran. He's been there, done that. And we've highlighted playoff Rondo before on the show. But I think that's the biggest X factor. I'm quite happy to give Randall a year, like a shit year basically this year, because it's going to be a new system, new everything for him. And I think it might take him for a little while to click. Jahil Okafor, man. I think that kid's done.
I don't get it.
I think he's done, man. I think he should have shut his mouth and played in Philly. Like, damn.
He should come here to play.
I mean, if he
just play here for a year.
If he can't make it work in Brooklyn, I don't know.
But did they offer him a deal to come back? It doesn't sound like it.
I don't think it was a deal.
Yeah, I didn't read anywhere that they did.
But yeah, I suppose for me, that's the biggest X factor for this Pelicans roster. I still think they'll make the playoffs. I've got them about 7th seed on my board, but only because, I mean, I know he's injury prone, but I think the last 2 to 3 seasons have shown that Anthony Davis just has this, like a quarter of a season where he's just in MVP mode. And that tends to carry him through. And he did it last year. He did it the season before that, where he just went bonkers and his stats were out, like just off the charts. And I think he's definitely still capable of that, obviously. But another year with this roster, they've got some good pieces, but the point guard position now is. I mean, I actually don't want to see Drew Holiday slip back to the 1 spot.
I don't think they. That's the plan. I think they brought in Payton to play next to Drew Holiday. I just don't think it'll work. There is talent there, don't get me wrong, but I've just got this feeling it won't work. Like you said, man, Rondo made it work. Rondo was the glue. And I think the pairing of Davis and Cousins worked really well.
Stu?
Look, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on me, or whatever that saying is that neither myself or George W. Bush can't get right. I don't want to bet against him again. I thought Mirotic was a great fit, and I think he'll continue to be. If your first 7 rotation is Davis, Randall, Mirotic, Holiday, Moore, Payton, that's a pretty decent sort of 7-heavy rotation, and then you throw in I really like Darius Miller. Okafor, we don't know what you're going to get out of him. But I don't know. They're a playoff team to me. I don't know how deep. I don't know if they're just a first-round sweep. I don't know what they are. But, yeah, for my money, if he's healthy, Davis takes them to the playoffs.
And didn't they just sign a Jinka, or whatever his name, for fucking Wesley Johnson? Trade?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, Wesley Johnson's now on there, so they get rid of... Am I saying that right? A Jinka, or whatever the fuck his name is?
No one cares.
No one fucking cares. Slothman, I refer to him as. But Wesley Johnson, wow. He's getting traded around for a bag of chips these days.
He's also building the jersey collection.
100%.
His ankles is he okay after James Harden molested him and broke his ankles on national television?
I can't believe he was picked 4 in the draft.
It still blows my mind.
Weak draft.
That was the David Kahn.
Been a while.
Joey.
Been a while.
I haven't heard that in ages.
It's been a while.
It's got to be a T-shirt.
I think so.
Probably would be.
Well, let's move along from the flocking birds to the Dallas Mavericks, guys.
What a seamless segue that was.
Oh, mate.
You're a lyrical maestro.
You can thank you.
What's wrong?
And you're welcome.
Two players I'm interested in: Ryan Brokoff and my new man crush, Luka Doncic. They're the only two I'm interested. And Dirk. Let's not forget Dirk.
And Luka Doncic's mum.
Oh,
That's true. That is true.
I think one thing we questioned with Dallas early on with the Doncic, the Luka trade.
Doncic.
Yeah,
Doncic, you dick.
That's just been an ass. Is our concerns with pairing him with Dennis Smith Jr. And obviously we did notice a bit of a maybe potential attitude problem with Dennis Smith, but they look like they're bonding quite well actually in Dallas.
Well, it just proves that, so far it's proving that Luka can play with anyone. And the thing is, Luka's not an arse of a bloke. Like, he's not a peanut. Seems quite easy to get along with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and he's a good teammate. Yeah, he is. 19-year-old vet.
Yeah, he's a vet rookie. He gets it. He's going to fit into the system. He's going to be fine.
In saying all that, and yes, I have a man crush on him. Can't wait to see Dirk suit up again. But I love the addition of DeAndre Jordan. Absolutely love it. I'm hoping Wes Matthews can get back to something resembling the Wes Matthews of Portland, but I doubt it. But yeah, look, as I said before, really excited to see what Ryan Broekhoff can do in the NBA. Yeah. Another Aussie in the NBA.
I know he's injured right now, Harrison Barnes, but I actually like the pairing with Luka and Harrison Barnes. Like, you've got a guy who Barnes got quite a good jump shot. Like he's got quite a good mid-range game. That first year in Dallas, he really showed that he could put points up on the board. But I think Luka also needs that on this squad, because it's all very well having Dennis Smith Jr. running beside you and throwing those lobs, but when the game breaks down, you need a guy and like Barnes that can run off those screens, and a guy that wants to run off screens. Do you know what I mean? Like a guy who wants to take those pop shots. I think they're going to they'll definitely have a better year than last year, that's for sure. I don't have them down. I think they're lottery bound still, but look, if you're a Dallas fan, man, it's going to be a fun year watching your future.
He's the best distributor of the ball. The most exciting and creative distributor of the ball that we've seen since Steve Nash in Phoenix.
Well, that's a pretty good call, yeah. Did you guys catch any of the preseason game between Dallas and Philly?
Yeah, was that the one that Luka put it up for through the lob for Dennis Smith?
It might have been that game. I thought that one was at home, but I think it was the one they played in Philly, maybe. I'm not too sure. Anyway, watch the highlights anyway, because, man, that was one game, and there's a fucking mixtape out on it.
Oh, that's when he was dancing the ball around his back and around the... Yeah, okay, I saw the highlights.
Yeah.
Anyone have them playoff bound? Anyone?
No, I'm not going to have them playoff bound, but they're going to be fun to watch and give hope for the Mavs fans' life post Dirk, whenever that might be. And they've got the Greek Freak's baby brother. I think he's going to make the roster.
Yeah, I think so.
Costas. Yep.
They just put him on there just to maybe
just to make sure Milwaukee don't.
Yeah, well, just for when the Greek Freak's contract does come up, that maybe they got a little bit more pull. Bad choice of words. Bad choice of words.
No.
Or maybe they're hoping if he becomes half as good as Giannis, they've got a pretty decent player.
True.
I'll tell you what, the similarities in size and weight and body structure and everything, it's freaky how identical they are at the same sort of age. I mean, yeah, Vince is right. If he can become half of the player that his brother is, they've got a steal.
Well, they missed out by one game. I'd say about half a game last year, the playoffs. I thought they were going to make it, but they did not. Of course, we're talking about the Denver Nuggets.
Mate, they missed out by 5 shitty minutes.
And look, they played the majority of last season without Paul Millsap. I like this squad, man.
Me too.
Same.
I feel like there is something missing, though. I do feel like there is something missing, but I feel like there's less of something missing now with this unit.
Yeah, fair call.
I think in the past I think the one thing that we brought up with this squad is that, they don't have a go-to guy. They don't have a franchise guy, and that's what they have, the perfect team, but they're missing that superstar to really, to push this team forward. Do you guys feel like the Joker has answered those questions?
I hate how you call him the Joker.
You're welcome.
Look, is Jokic a franchise guy? I'm going to say no. He's a very, very good player. Can knock out the triple doubles and he's very creative with the ball. But he hasn't got that takeover mentality. He has those massive games, he drops 30 and 10 and 15, whatever. But he's not that guy who just says, "Rightio, boys, give me the ball, get out of the way." He's just one of those really good players who can just fill it up. He's a stat sheet stuffer, but not a franchise guy for me. So they're still lacking in that regard.
Stu.
They need a big year out of Murray. He's just shown flashes of just getting it and just being a very, very good pro. So they need to get his potential out of him this season, and he should be realising that this far into his career. What's this, year 3 for him?
Yeah, well, they played him a little bit at the point last year, which I think really played to his strength.
Yeah, totally agree. He's very good when he's got the ball in his hands. He's very good at creating space. He's a brilliant shooter. They're definitely playoff bound for my money. They just got some bad rolls of the dice. They lost a lot of close games last season. Hopefully they've learned from that. They could be, I don't know. For me, I'll probably have them anywhere from 5 through to 8. They're not a top 4, but I think they're going to be better than last season. And I kind of do think the Joker, sorry Vince, could be a franchise guy.
Interesting.
Yeah, I do. His skill set's it's crazy, but I don't know. I'd like to see him hit the gym a little bit more. His body type seems to be that he's just getting off on talent rather than putting in the work.
Yeah,
for sure.
Just like a bit of a cruise control superstar. Not too dissimilar to what's his ex-teammate, Jokic at
Nurkic. Yeah,
Nurkic.
Portland,
Not too dissimilar in that these guys are just big and skilled and talented, and I'm sure they've gotten away with that since a very young age. But I know this is a big boys league, and the guys who really dominate, with the exception of some guys like Dirk and things like that who are just ungodly in what they can get away with. I don't know, maybe take it a bit more seriously, and he could elevate himself to franchise status.
2 guys that we haven't touched on yet. One is their draft pick, Michael Porter Jr. So interested to see if we see him at all this year. I mean, we touched on it last show, actually, with Kenneth Faried finally being moved out of Denver. I hope that actually frees up some minutes for some of these other guys. And obviously, one of their free agent signings this season was Isaiah Thomas.
Interesting signing, but I do think he'll be very good for Jamal Murray. Bit of that mentorship, and Isaiah Thomas is also someone who, for the Lakers last year, he came into some of those fourth quarters and got us home a few times. Yeah. He was really impressive to watch.
Can I ask you guys a question?
He'll be good for Jamal.
Sorry, can I just ask you guys a question? Because I feel like this might be the factor that really drags them a bit deeper than where they finished last year. Obviously, you guys had Thomas on your team last year. I mean, there's no questioning the heart that he had in Boston. And I think for a lot of fans and for a lot of people watching, it almost felt like he didn't want to be in fucking Cleveland. That's for certain. How was he in LA? Because I feel like him being the player he is and having almost that Iverson quality where it's they play with so much heart. Did that come across in LA?
You want to go first, Benson?
Look, I think he did. I think he gave us everything that we could have expected out of the guy who was still coming off an injury and still trying to play himself back into shape. It would have been easy for him to sit out the season. I admired the fact that, he's got that much mongrel in him that he wants to prove himself. He got ragged on a lot by the media for, a couple of bad shots in close games. And like Vince said, I don't think he was acknowledged for the games that he actually brought us back and closed that gap and got us into the position to win or lose some of the games that we did. But we were better with him on the floor. You can't ignore that he was the product of a very good Brad Stevens system that was designed essentially around him. Celtics didn't exactly drop off when he left, which proves that I guess he was a product of his environment, but he's still a great player. Look, I think Devin Harris gave this Nuggets squad great vet minutes last year, and I think Thomas is going to plug into that and give them some leadership. For us, I thought he was great.
I was really impressed with Isaiah when he came to the Lakers. What really impressed me the most was you could tell he wasn't fully recovered from that hit, but he's so smart out on that basketball court. He was getting himself into positions where he was using his body to draw a foul because he knew he couldn't get to the basket as quick as he used to. still super strong, and he was making the right passes to the right guys. If he couldn't get the shot off, yeah, he did throw up some shots that he got crucified for, but couldn't agree with more with Benson with what he said. We were better with him on the floor. And look, if he was a bit cheaper, I would have loved to have seen him stay on.
Yeah.
Playoff bound or lottery sound, guys?
Look, I've got him actually on my list 7th. I think they're going to make it this year.
Yeah, they're definitely playoff bound for mine. I haven't solidified where my 8 sit. I don't have them as home court advantage, but I've got them as high as 5 and, worst case 8.
Well, we move along now from the Denver Nuggets to the team we love to hate, the Houston Rockets, guys. Sorry, Rick. Long-time listener and supporter of the show, Rick Jones.
Who is in the States as we speak?
He is. Fucking Disneyland. Was he in Disneyland before that as well, I think?
Yeah, he was.
Getting around. Wow, this roster. Wow. I mean, hey, they're taking the shot. They're really taking the shot. Stu,
sorry.
No, you open up, Vince. Open up. Go for it.
I just want to say two things. I know it was only pre-season. I actually saw Carmelo Anthony get the ball in spots where he was open. And there was plenty of time on the shot clock. And he actually hit the shot.
They're not running the Westbrook offense in Houston?
No. Isn't that amazing? He was actually quite efficient from the floor.
Yeah.
He's going to be very efficient this year.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
He's gonna love playing with this team. They're loaded now. I mean, they've got enough firepower. Still not sure about their defensive prowess under Coach Dickwad. But
you don't need to stop him, Vince.
That's true.
Just need to outscore him, mate.
I keep forgetting. But yeah, look, we all know what they can do. We all know that the players they've got, Harden's an absolute beast. PJ Tucker goes a bit unnoticed. He's very important to them.
He's playing defense for 4 positions on the floor. Of course he goes unnoticed.
Michael Carter-Williams, bit of size at the backcourt. But look, I've got him finishing second in my playoff list.
Nice. Behind
Golden State.
Yeah, look, failing some sort of injury or prolonged rest period on behalf of Steve Kerr for his starting 5. I don't know, maybe he decides to play his back 7 for the rest of the season. I've got these guys finishing second as well. Just a great roster. They're going to have hopefully a healthy Nene. They've got Capella back on board. They're just...
Sorry, did you just say a healthy Nene?
Oh, come on. He'll be fine.
Continue.
Look, these guys are just great. I think, I've always thought Carmelo Anthony is a modern day, like a Bernard King. He's a great shooter. He's prolific in certain aspects of basketball when utilised. We've seen him on the world stage. I think he's arguably Team USA's best ever player.
He has had massive games for them, yeah.
On that stage, in the right system where he could just go to work, mid-range and step out, he's going to be great. I think he's going to benefit massively from this style of play. And, yeah, look, second, goodness me, they could even jostle for maybe come All-Star weekend. They've got the best record in the league. I don't know if they can finish as strong as the Warriors, but they are absolute locks to really get themselves to the Western Conference Final if they do what they should.
Yeah, look, for me, a little bit of a sleeper move for this Houston Rockets squad. I actually like the fact they brought in Brandon Knight, who was injured a little bit out in injured for last season in Phoenix, but I just like the fact they've got another point guard there that can run the show. He's a solid point guard and has been in the league for, despite the odd highlight against him.
Oh, man, does he get on the wrong end of some cliffs?
No, but you know what? He's always in the mix. That's what I liked about Brandon Knight. He's always in the play, whether good or bad, he's always there. And I kind of feel like sometimes you need that from your players. Do you know what I mean? Not every play is going to be a highlight play. So, I like that move because Chris Paul, Vince has said it every year, come playoff time, always ends up injured. Happened again last year as well. So,
yep, you're right. Got to limit his minutes this year. Carry on, please.
Yeah. Look, because Harden's good at point guard as well, but we've seen him fall apart in playoff time too. So I like that for the fact they brought in a solid point guard to help steer the ship, I suppose. I don't know what
Mate.
fuck Michael Carter-Williams still doing there, though. Fucking hell. He's just not... Why
Has
is that?
there ever been a player that has had a debut game like him and then just done nothing since?
Yeah.
It's incredible. His debut game, I remember watching it, and I just remember just thinking, holy shit, this kid is going to be something special. No, he wasn't.
Yeah.
I thought so too, mate. Don't worry, you weren't alone.
No, I was
like,
this kid's
oh.
going to be a triple-double.
Yeah.
This kid's going to be, Jason Kidd. This kid's going to be like, it was crazy. And then
you convince yourself, oh no, it was just situation. He'll turn around in Milwaukee. Oh no, but he'll make it. They need a player like him in Charlotte. Oh, the Bulls, Chicago, yeah, they no. Done. Look, just tip of the cap to Clint Capella as well, because we didn't really talk about him, but glad he's back with his Houston squad, because I think he's like one of the key pieces that if he, for whatever reason, went down, they would struggle a lot, because he just changes a lot of shots. He's got those springs in his legs and just, can get the ball out to the outlets. And, I really like him.
I mentioned him, but then I was gonna talk more, but you laughed at Nene, and
well, you said Nene and healthy in the same sentence, so...
It'd be interesting. I'd love, I hope not for his career's sake. I'd really be interested to see what sort of a player Capella would be on a different squad. He is just the ideal centre for this offense. He just gets gifted 12 points a game off balls that essentially are thrown at the ring that he just grabs. Like, he's just perfect for this system. D'Antoni has been kissed on the dick with this guy.
Kissed on the dick? What the? I've never heard that before.
It's the epitome of luck. Woke up in the morning. Mate, woke up in the morning, kissed on the dick.
God. Wayne's gone. I think we're in charge now. I think we're in charge, Benson.
Fantastic. All right, back to the lake.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. It's the epitome of luck. You might be right. You might be right.
Mate, if you wake up and you kiss on the dick, your day is going to be great. It doesn't get any better.
Oh, shit.
So hang on, they're bringing back Eric Gordon. They've got Gerald Green's back. Obviously, Anderson's gone. They're going to be tough to beat.
Oh, I can't even talk about him anymore.
Oh, my God.
Destroyed me.
Well, thanks for joining us, everyone.
Let's move along to our next team.
It's time for the Laker Hour.
The LA Clippers.
Almost.
Let's talk about the Clippers,
You're
boys.
going to say that.
You know me too well. Interesting squad. A bit of a mismatch of players. Thoughts?
No Clip City, Chip City, whatever the hell they say over there. Yeah, look, they're not getting anywhere near the playoffs. Don't care. Nah, dude, have a look at their roster. No. The only bloke I'd take is Tobias Harrison. That's probably not even then.
You take Lou Will back. Who are you talking?
Nah, don't need Lou Will, mate.
You take Sweet Lou back.
Don't need
Six
Lou Will.
Six man off the bench. You take Lou Will.
Why is Doc getting rid of DeAndre Jordan to bring in Gortat?
I just think he wants someone who can shoot a free throw, really.
Oh, yeah, well, letting 38 points go at the centre position, no worries.
Well, I suppose my biggest point, looking at this roster, looking at the head coach we have and the players they've let go this past season and a half, to me, this just feels like they're trying to set something up to make some sort of deal. They obviously got their eyes on someone down the track. Like, that's what this roster says to me. I do like their new point guard, though.
Is that Gilgeous?
Shai Gilgeous Alexander.
There you go.
But yeah, I keep looking at this roster, and the more I look at it, the more I just go, man, a lot of these players are players that you would make a move for if you were another team and you're heading towards the playoffs and you thought you needed a bit more firepower, rebounding, something like that. That's essentially what this squad is made up of. Is Lou Williams the go-to guy now for the Clippers?
Oh, it's got to be him or Harris.
Yeah.
Or Gallinari. But it's just a mishmash. Like Patrick Beverley. Don't get me wrong, he plays so hard. He's tough defensively in that. But Beverly, Bradley in the backcourt. Gallinari, I love Gallinari, but he can't stay healthy. Gortat's, I got to feel like he's on the way down, even though he's serviceable, but it just doesn't scream playoffs for me, this roster. They're going to really struggle to get past the 30-win mark.
There's definitely Doc caliber players here. Do you know what I mean? Like Avery Bradley sort of goes without saying, but he's got defenders, he's got his shooters. Like I can see the Doc map on here. Do you know what I mean? But it just feels like I just feel like this is a transition squad right now. Like this is not going to be the same team that this Clippers team finishes with at the end of the year.
Well, with any luck, it won't end well. But
For who?
apart from Lou Williams, Harris and Gallinari, I don't know where they're going to get their scoring from.
Boban? Yeah. Dude, he's been playing great. He's been playing
Let's
great.
just end the podcast now if you're going to think Boban.
I love the guy. He's awesome.
I love Boban.
He's the best. What are you talking about?
He's amazing.
Yeah.
Just run everything through him.
I would hang out with him after a game drinking a beer.
How good is he in Tobias Harris's interviews?
The bomb diggity. I don't say that often.
What was that? Say that again.
Yeah, I said he's the bomb diggity. I don't say that often, that phrase, but it's deserved. Bomb diggity.
God, and you thought kissing the dick was going to derail this show.
Oh, my God. We've just lost listeners.
All right. The Clippers, playoff bound or lottery sound, gentlemen?
They are lottery sound, and hopefully for the next 20 years.
Stu.
Yeah, get your own fucking arena. Look, yeah, you hit the nail on the head. It's a very Doc team. Don't get me wrong. Like these guys are all capable at their positions. There's a lot of them. Yeah, but they're not doing any damage at all. Lottery sound.
Cool. Well, we move now to the real LA. Were you okay, Vince? There was some heavy breathing.
Yeah, mate. You said the Sacramento Kings. I'm going to get angry.
Just
The LA Lakers. The LA Lakers, guys. You won the free agency, of course, this offseason. Exciting times moving forward. Man, look, just before you guys get into it, I just want to say that I have been super impressed with the play of Brandon Ingram so far. He's been good for 20 plus in most games. Looks like he's figured it out a little bit. Sure, we could say he needs to bulk up a little bit, but we could say that probably about a lot of players these days. Yeah, I just like the way he's working and moving on the floor, what I've seen early on. I'm going to have a very long year. That's all I know. Some thoughts on the Lakers, gentlemen?
You know who's really impressed me, and I can't believe I'm going to say this. I feel like stabbing myself in the eye with my pen.
Don't say capital Pope.
JaVale McGee.
Oh.
Yeah.
He may have just figured it all out. I think the penny's dropped. And he looks in really good nick. He looks sharp. He looks like he's really gone to work in the off-season. Am I wrong there, Benson?
No. I think just having LeBron in this camp is it's elevated everybody. There's a standard of professionalism. I totally agree. I wasn't sure if you were going to say it, but I totally agree. He looks great.
I don't know if you guys have seen Lonzo Ball, but he has put on some serious strength and muscle. Mm-hmm. Did you see that windmill dunk he did at practice?
Yeah, man.
I thought that was an old clip.
Sorry?
I thought that was an old clip. Wasn't it an old clip? Or was it that from this?
No, he was wearing his old Bruins short shorts. He wears them at practice because, was it UCLA? Yeah, I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he dunked with so much power, like far out.
He's got lobs. He's got underrated lobs. There was some of those lobs that he caught last season off the high screen that he would roll to. He was getting up, man. He's got bunnies.
I get too excited to talk about the Lakers, but keep an eye out on Svi.
Svi Mikhailo, what a gun!
Hello. But yeah, look, I can't wait. I'm so excited. Got the league pass all ready and God damn it, I can't wait. We're talking championships, baby. Championships.
You sound like you've got the Vaseline already.
Oh, don't worry about it. I've bought a whole fucking case.
God.
Knuckle deep.
Come on now.
And Super Cool Bees. I'm excited about Super Cool Bees.
My God, did you see his interview?
Burn,
did you see his interview
No, fill me in.
Fuck, I've got it. It's like just fucking classic spaced out bees. Like, fucking hell. I'll shoot you the link later. It's ridiculous. It's hilarious.
Leave him alone.
I love him.
That's all.
Mate, I love super cool bees.
Benson, give me a Lakers rundown. I'm just going to be over in the corner.
I'm just impressed at how solid our depth is. Like, I'm really, like, I don't know. I love our, if you consider, okay, let's say that Rondo's going to start the season because we haven't seen enough ball. Let's say Rondo starts, Caldwell Pope's in the backcourt with him, then you've got LeBron, Ingram, and McGee, right? That's your five. Fine by me. Happy with that. Your second unit is Ball, Hart, Stevenson, Kuzma, and if we end up picking up, well, maybe we pick up Noah or we roll with Zubats, but as a second unit, that's better than anything the Clippers can put out. That's better than anything, I think another 8 teams in the West can put out. I am just, our depth has got me just as excited as our unit. Big things, like so excited.
I'll say this, by the end of the season, Josh Hart will be our starting 2-guard.
I hope so.
Didn't you just re-up Caldwell Pope, though? Did you get another 1 year, was it?
Just a 1 year.
Right.
But I think we ended up signing Caldwell Pope.
Who did I say? Caldwell. All right. Cool. You done? Go away.
I hope Wagner's in the rotation by the end of the season, though. Love that kid.
Oh, he's great, man. I like him more than I like Zubac. I'll just say that.
Ooh, yeah, okay.
I think I see more potential him in the LA than what I do for Zubac.
Yeah, he's got a broader offensive repertoire and he's a solid defender. So yeah, I mean, if you had to flip a coin between the two of them, yeah, I think you've got to go the big Wagner.
Question for you both: any early LeVar Ball sightings?
No, he's been pretty quiet.
Yeah, he's been a bit quiet. He's maybe running his own league. Maybe he's got the Magic Johnson shut your mouth. Maybe not.
Possibly. Maybe. I just want to. We've got Travis Ware on our list on our roster.
Oh. I really like him.
Yeah. Clearly, Travis got all the fucking talent because his brother plays for the Sydney Kings.
Oh.
And let me tell you,
his brother.
Yeah, that's his twin brother, David Ware. You're a stretch 4. You've come here as a stretch 4, and you can't fucking shoot a lick.
He could not hit the broadside of a barn with a handful of sand.
Far out.
Ordinary.
He looks like Brenton Cunningham out there. He really does.
Wow. Sorry, Brenton.
Just terrible. Just
wow. Did not put 2 and 2 together.
That is his twin brother, and Travis got all the talent, clearly.
Wow, okay.
I'm interested to see if Lance Stevenson can make it work in LA.
Yeah, he can. He can. Don't worry.
I mean, look, we saw what happened when he stepped away from Indiana. I put up with that Memphis run, and we saw what happened with him out in Charlotte. So, he goes back home to Indy in his comfort zone. So I hope the kid can find his comfort zone in LA and have a good year because I really like Lance. He's a knucklehead.
He looks in shape. Have you seen him as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing I like about Lance is he's quite contagious.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like when he's on the court. So I just hope he has a good year. I'm interested to see what plays out with the point guard position because I think I disagree with Vince a little bit. I feel like Rondo's saying all the right things right now, but if they try to give the ball back to I feel like Rondo is saying all the right things now, but if they try to give the starting position back to Lonzo, I think there's going to be awkward situations.
No, it's not. You're insane.
No.
Rondo's there. He said it himself. He wants to mentor Lonzo Ball.
Yeah, he's saying all the right things. You watch what happens come playoff time if Lonzo's starting. Rondo's not coming off the bench.
You know why, mate? We'll be winning, and winning cures everything, mate.
Does it?
Cole Kuzma, great shape as well. He's hit the weights in the off-season. Cannot wait, Benson. Ooh.
Nah, look out for Ingram most improved. Ingram this preseason, holy shit, he's just he seems to be becoming everything that that had him in number 1, number 2 conversations and got him the number 2 pick. He's looking good.
And the good thing is, I think LeBron and him have formed a little bit of a bromance, which is good.
Yeah, LeBron talks him up on social a lot.
Yeah.
Playoff bound or lottery sound?
Oh, let me tell you, Wayno, I've got them fourth on my list.
Fourth, wow.
I also have them fourth.
What are you laughing for? You
Listen to the Grizzlies.
I have them eighth.
Well, you're a dickhead.
I have them eighth, and I didn't have them making the playoffs. I think it's all going to fucking blow up in your guys' face this season. The only reason I have them an 8 seed is because Minnesota are going to shit the bed like they fucking should have done last year and fucking drop out of the playoffs this year. So, man, this is not going to end well for you Laker fans. You guys are fucking delusional. You got so many fucking knuckleheads, so many egos on your fucking roster right now that one stretch of fucking bad games and this is all going to fucking blow up. Amazing. Can't wait.
The only thing that's going to blow up in your face is your boyfriend. You have no idea what you're talking about, mate.
Mate,
no idea
guys are dreaming. This is going to be fantastic. I would even place...
dickhead.
Mate, I would even place a slap bet on it, but you guys can't even pay up on your slap bet, so you blew it. You blew it, bro.
Dickhead. We won 35 games. We've added LeBron James. There's another fucking 20.
So many knuckleheads on this roster. This is going to fucking be beautiful.
Yeah, they're our knuckleheads, mate, and they'll work out beautifully.
Fucking dreaming.
And you wait, we're also, you got to remember, we're picking up the phone to Masai in February.
Oh, yeah, okay. Bring in Kawhi, yeah, please.
Listen, mate.
Bring in a laugh.
We look in the rafters and there's 16 bloody championships up there. You look at Memphis, what do you
got? Oh, mate, we're not talking about Memphis right now. We're talking about your knucklehead Lakers.
You don't even know what it takes, mate, what it takes to win a title.
You guys are dreaming.
Stick with your Marshawn Brooks, mate.
Can't wait. This is going to be great.
We will be, mark my words, we will be the next team not named the Warriors to win a championship, and that might not be this season, and I'm okay with that.
That's not going to happen,
mate. I'm telling you, you will look in Wikipedia, you look in the history books.
Look,
following this Warriors run will be a Los Angeles Lakers.
I would love nothing more to back up my statement with a slap bet, but there are some unpaid slap bets, so I unfortunately cannot lay down one. You guys have done this to yourself.
Still fished you so bad,
mate. You guys. Yep, exactly.
Scott. Dropping.
Well, speaking about dropping out, let's talk about the Minnesota Timberwolves, guys.
My thoughts on Minnesota. Where do I begin? First of all, fuck you, Jimmy Butler. How's that?
No one listening is shocked that you just said that.
How is that? The quicker I would trade this guy out for a bucket of peanuts. I really would. He's rubbed everyone there who matters the wrong way. Just get him out. Get him the hell out. He's not as good as he thinks he is. He's not the leader he thinks he is. He's not the winner he thinks he is. And if they get him out, quick smart, I really think they can sneak into the 8th spot because there is plenty of talent on that roster.
Not playoff talent.
Benson, your thoughts, please, because I just don't want to acknowledge that silly comment.
I don't know. These ones are really polarizing for me as to whether or not I can see them making an 8th.
Stay with me, Benson. Stay with me.
Just speak the truth, Stu. Speak the truth.
No, I just keep flipping.
Come on, look. Wiggins, Towns, Teague, Rose, Gibson, Deng.
Why don't you man up, Stu? Why don't you man up and don't let Vince fucking dictate your answer here and tell him what you really think. Tell him what you really think of what was said and what went down with practice, what Jimmy Butler said, and his thoughts on Cat and Wiggins.
Look, I personally, I've never been a fan of players. I think some stuff stays in the locker room. I'm not a big fan of expressing commentary through the media. I think it does more harm than good. And, there's 3 sides to every story. Someone's opinion, somebody else's opinion, and the truth. So I don't know. I'm probably not a fan of the way that some of this has gone down. If I remove myself and just look at the roster, I think they could make 8. I don't know. There's a lot of turmoil, a lot of issues for them to overcome.
Mm-hmm. There's not a lot of turmoil. There's one guy creating a storm. Get rid of him. He's the cancer in the locker room right now. Get rid of him. If this was DeMarcus Cousins, I tell you, a lot of people would be all over him. But the difference is DeMarcus Cousins doesn't come in telling guys how to win. This is how you win, because And they look down at his fingers and go, shit, where are those championship rings? Oh, no, yes, right, he's won fuck all.
Well, he's won a lot more than
Miami gonna
other
do
fuckers
to
on this fucking team, that's for sure.
Oh, well, he should do. He's been in the league, what now? Where is he? He's been in the league 7 years. You'd fucking hope so. Compared to Carl Anthony Towns.
What were Miami willing to give up for him?
I think it was Josh Richardson, a pick, and Bam Adebayo.
Fuck, and they didn't take it.
They should have taken Bam, man. I'd fucking love it.
From all reports, it was agreed upon, and then Tibbs wanted more.
He
So
wanted some
Riley
more.
said no.
Fuck.
I would have taken that.
I would have taken that.
Yeah.
What about you, Wayno?
My thoughts? I don't feel like that was your real thoughts, man. I thought you just played the political card right there. I've seen some of your comments online, and that didn't sound like you, man. Come on now. Let the real stew out. Let the real stew out.
No, I look, to be honest, how much time a week I spend thinking about the Minnesota Timberwolves, it's fuck all. I'll be completely honest with you. I don't mind Jimmy Butler. I know he hasn't won everything. There's plenty of players in the league that haven't won anything. I like that.
That's true. That's true. But that's not the issue.
Well, apparently it is for you.
No.
You just said that.
He comes in. There are plenty of players like Jimmy Butler who are very good players, but will not win you fuck all. He acts like he's led teams to titles. The other blokes don't do that.
Oh, look, I'm not going to cover this because we've talked about this before. You've fucking gone over the same statement over and over and over.
Yeah, because that's what's happened. It's come out. That's what happened.
That's fucking media, man. That's not him. He's fucking trying to lead this fucking squad. This bunch of fucking pups.
Mate, when Wiggins and Towns, you know that he fucking rubbed them the wrong way, coming in with his chest puffed out. And part of it's Tibbs' fault, letting him come in like that, treating him like he was some sort of fucking god. He's, you know, like
You
want to come in and lead a team. That's fine. Come in and help Andrew Wiggins and say, look, this is how I prepare. You practice hard. All great. Practice hard. Show Wiggins how you practice. Show Wiggins you practice like you play. Not just berate them all the time and say, this is how I win. This is how we win. You just don't do that when you haven't won.
Can I get my thoughts?
I don't go into the classroom and tell the teacher how to teach.
You fucking should, mate. You're fucking brilliant.
I'm pretty fucking good.
All right. Can I give my thoughts?
No.
Can I give my thoughts?
Go on.
Yeah, I'm just going to go make a coffee while you make it.
All right. Well, look, without taking me geeing you up about this aside from it, there are definitely elements that I agree with Jimmy Butler. Definitely. He has also acted like a total fucking ass in the way he's gone around it. And whether you're super competitive or not, you know, it's just a fucking different generation. You've got some fucking young pups who are going to take that shit to heart. In saying that, he did also say that the most talented player on this squad is Carl Anthony Towns. He did also say the most God-gifted player on this squad is Andrew Wiggins, but he is by far the hardest worker on this squad. Now, that's no excuse for going around being a dick, but in saying that also, I think what speaks volumes is that he went on there and fucking drilled them with the fucking third-string guys, and I think that says a lot about stuff like preparation and fucking getting yourself game ready, which is shit they didn't do last year. Regardless of what you think of fucking Jimmy Butler, the pure fact is they scraped in by their fucking knuckles when he was out, and when he was in and was healthy, they were on pace for fucking 4th seed. We talked about it on the show. I actually hope they fucking work this shit out. I hope this is just they can sort this shit out because they have a good squad. Like, they have a good squad. They have talent. They have a guy like Jimmy Butler who, like you said, Vince, can fucking help this team. But not if he's on the fucking ego trip. I feel like a trade is inevitable, but I would actually like to see him work it out. And I think there's, like, potential. I thought, Timberwolves fan, regardless of how the year finished, there was definitely some good times last year. You definitely got a taste of what this Timberwolves squad could be.
I think that's the only taste they're going to get, mate. I think it's done. I think the damage is done. I think they really shit the bed not getting rid of him already. Just gut feel. I just don't know. I can't see him. I can't see him being a 500 team, which means I can't sneak them into that 8th spot.
They're not making playoffs. They're not playing.
I just think the damage is done, which is a shame. They could turn it on its head and use it as a chip on their shoulder and a motivational point, and it could galvanise them. You know, Jordan called out players, Kobe called out players. Like, it can galvanise, but I just it doesn't feel like it's going to happen.
Kobe called out players and demanded a fucking trade as well. Like, fuck.
No,
That happens.
and they had ownership was saying he's gone, and then Dibs was saying he's not, and it seems like such a clusterfuck that it's just inevitable, and they're delaying ripping off the Band-Aid. They've got to get rid of him.
I've got him 8th, and mind you, I love the T-Wolves. They're my second team, but I've got him 8th, but it was very hard to. I've got him on par with another team, but I'm going to go with the T-Wolves.
Okay.
8th.
Who's your on-par team?
Well, we haven't covered them yet.
Okay.
Portland.
Point it out when you get
Sorry?
Portland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Benson, shut up.
Nah, I'm exactly the same. They were my flip of a coin with the Blazers, and I think the turmoil is going to make them lottery bound.
Well, yeah. Our next team is the Phoenix Suns, gentlemen.
Oh,
Yeah.
Now that's the Atlanta Hawks of the West.
Yes.
there you go. That is true.
Some strange moves with their roster, though. Like, obviously, they fired their coach, moved on some players, but they've got a real mix now of vets and young talent. I don't hate their roster. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying they're winning anything, but I don't hate it. We definitely need to see a lot more out of Josh Jackson, the small forward rookie from last year, because I felt that was a pretty subpar effort considering where he was drafted. I'd like to see TJ Warren improve some more, but, they're bringing in guys like, Ryan Anderson, Trevor Ariza. They still have Tyson Chandler on the books. And I thought there was another vet. Maybe it was...
They signed Jamal Crawford.
Yeah, and Jamal Crawford. That's the other one. So, there's 4 solid vets. I mean, like I said, they're not winning anything, but I feel like at least pointing this squad in the right direction, because it has been just a miserable 8 years.
And here's hoping for another 8 more. Ryan Anderson and Trevor Ariza will help. And I like how Ryan Anderson can spread the floor a bit for Aiden, which I'm keen to really check him out and see how he performs. We all know what Devin Booker can do. I agree with you on Josh Jackson. I think he will improve. Well, I'm hoping he'll improve because I like the way he goes about it. But did they get rid of Marquise? Is it Marquise Chris, whatever his name was?
Yes.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they traded him.
Where did he go?
Where did he go?
Can't remember now.
Didn't he go to Houston?
I think he did. He did. Surprising. Didn't mind him at all.
For Ryan Anderson? Was it part of that deal?
Yeah, that was the deal. Yeah. Jeez, I'm getting old. I can't remember anything. Look, some nice, solid pieces, but they'll definitely improve a little just on the back of Aiden and Booker alone. But, not making the playoffs by a long way.
Yep. Agreed. Stu.
Yeah, same old. I mean, let's hope that lots of minutes for Aiden, lots of health for him. Did they move Alex Lennon as well?
Yeah, he's gone to Atlanta.
That's right. Okay. So he's going to get, a lot of minutes. He's going to get great tutelage from Tyson Chandler, which is brilliant, which would be great for his development. Let's hope Booker's healthy. I don't know. They're just going to be banking on a high draft pick, and that's about all they can hope for. But a good young core, and I don't know. Not much to say.
I hope we get a little something out of Bender this year, though, because I felt like last year, well, since he's been there, he drafted with Marquise Chris, so his minutes were pretty much split with him, and then Chris was just a bit further along with the development. So I hope he's not a bust. A 7-1 power forward who can really run the floor, but man, he's got to show and prove this season, or else he might find himself out.
It's weird because he has all the tools to be a legitimate fucking really good NBA player.
And he's only 20.
Yeah, I know, and he's young as. I mean, I don't know if it's a minutes thing or a confidence thing. I do remember a lot of the time the Phoenix Suns commentators in particular were on him that he was reluctant to shoot. So I don't know if it's just a confidence thing or what, but pick him up and drop him in a Euro League, I reckon he'd be the MVP.
Maybe.
Maybe that's his future.
Maybe. Well, I think we're all unanimous. They are not making the playoffs. So we will move to...
Don't put words in our mouth.
I'm sorry. Would you like the floor?
No, you said it.
Let's move along now to I got a feeling this isn't going to end well. The Portland Trailblazers, John. Paul Allen?
Yeah. I knew he was sick, but
Bit sad.
I didn't realise he was that sick. Like, as bad as that sounds, like
Cancer, yeah, got him.
It was only diagnosed this year, so I think it was very quick.
Fuck cancer. How's that?
Yep.
Fuck you, cancer.
Eat a big one.
For sure.
I don't know. Stu, you want to start off with Portland?
You sound, when you said it's not going to end well, you mean it's not going to end well with our butting heads of predictions? Or
No, it's not going to.
They're going to blow it up.
I don't think it's going to end well with our picks for them.
Okay.
That's the vibe I'm picking up.
Okay, well, yeah, they essentially come into the season with the same starting five that they had last season. So, they're going to trot out Nurkic, Aminu, who else they got? McCullum, Turner, Lillard. I'm just trying to think. Lillard,
Evan Turner.
Sorry, I dozed off.
Wake us up when you finish.
That's what I mean. Like, I'm just trying to rattle them off the top of my head. I should bloody jump onto my app or something. But hang on, I'm just trying to think. But yeah, look, I mean, I think same old, which will get them the same old results. They're a playoff team, but not a deep playoff team. They hover around this. I don't know, like they're not winning themselves any great draft picks and they're not getting deep into the playoffs. And I don't know, I hate this fucking limbo that some teams are where they're a perpetual 7th and 8th seed. I don't know what good that is.
Yeah, I agree with you. The problem with this squad right now is that every season that goes past, they stay the same and the teams around them get better. Do you know what I mean? Like 4 years ago, Minnesota weren't where they are. Do you know what I mean? Like 4 years ago, Utah weren't where they are, but they're now being surpassed by teams because these teams are playing the long game and building, and they're starting to see the fruit. This squad, I mean, I feel like they were lucky last year. They went on a bit of a win streak towards the end of the season because for me, that's really what, and it was on the back basically of Damian Lillard. Really, I don't think they're going to be that lucky this year. I don't have them making the playoffs at all. I really like some of their players, their key players. CJ and Lillard, but, you're still relying on Myers Leonard to show you something. You're still relying on Seth Curry now. There are some okay pieces, but there's not enough to compete in the West.
How long till Damian Lillard loses patience?
You know what? This year's going to really test them. They've now lost their owner. What serious moves are going to be made, this year for them?
Yeah, Scotty, I think they're in real danger of him. I think he'll play out the year there, but I think they're in real danger of him asking for a get out of jail card. Like you said, they're always in limbo. They're always thereabouts, 7th or 8th. They never, they can't attract any big names for whatever reason. They draft okay. They hit the jackpot with Lillard and to a point McCullum, but I'd be looking to see what I can get for McCullum. See,
I'm more the other way, Vince. Because I think if you trade McCullum, Damian's still in the same position. You're not going to get any real help to where he is right now. You ship Lillard is not going to want to go. Do you know what I mean? He's not going to want to go on his own accord. So if he's not willing to do that, then he's going to become disgruntled. He might not be disruptive, but play is going to lack. You hang on. You give CJ McCollum the keys for a while. And go, you're our scorer, you're our guy. I feel like he's capable, I feel like he's definitely capable, but you potentially could bring in maybe 2 decent players for Lillard and picks.
Yeah, but then, then the franchise is still, they need better than decent. See, that's the thing, they're stuck, sort of.
You still got, because I feel like CJ is still a guy who could, stick around. Do you know what I mean? You don't need to move him right away. All these pieces.
I feel that way too, but if you're just looking for decent players back for Lillard, and that's all you're going to get, because that's how trades go now in the NBA. Teams don't trade superstars for superstars.
No, but you could get 2 young, talented guys, right?
Yeah, but that just means the Blazers are going to be still in the same boat.
Yeah, I don't know. I think if you do that, you're saying, if you're trading away Lillard, you're saying we're rebuilding.
They probably have to, and I reckon, look, go to the lottery. Man, just tank, trade him trade him for, I don't know, whatever, picks, a player and expiring contracts, picks and expiring. It's not working. I mean, I know they've got a streak of what? How many years in a row they made the playoffs? That's fucking amazing.
It's up there, yeah. I think this is the year it breaks, though. I can't see it.
Yeah, unfortunately. I would blow it up. I really would.
They're no worse than last season. For that reason, they're playoff bound. I legitimately don't think there are 7 teams that are better than them in the Western Conference. So they're in, but I think they just hover in that limbo, and I don't know what they're doing.
That's a good point too. That's also a good point. You know, they aren't technically worse than last year. Maybe.
No, I don't think they are. They went spurts through injuries as well. I mean, they had Nurkic was out for a lot of games as well. If they can all stay on the court and stay healthy, for my money, they're a 7th or an 8th, but they don't go deep. They might shock in the first round, but if they're going to finish around that 6, 7, 8, they're going to be getting Golden State. They're going to be getting Houston Rockets, and they're probably going to be getting Utah Jazz or the Lakers. So yeah, good luck to them.
We're nearly there. Home run, gentlemen. Let's move along now to the Sacramento Kings. Thoughts on the roster, Vince?
Really excited about Marvin Bagley, the third. My kind of player. And I think Vlade's got his head around the GM business now. I think for a while there he was getting fleeced on deals and stuff, but they look pretty solid. Bagley, Bogdanovic, Cauley Stein, they've added Yogi Ferrell, who's solid. De'Aaron Fox is only getting better. I think a sleeper is Harry Giles III. They're going to be looking to Buddy Hield to improve. Scout Labissiere, is that it?
Labissiere,
yeah. He'll improve. McLemore's back. Don't know why.
Why did they do that?
Memphis didn't want him. Iman Shumpert, if he stays healthy, he'll give them great defense and can score a little. Zach Randolph, veteran leader. I really like the look of this team. I think they're on the right track. They signed Belicha from Minnesota.
Yeah.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
They did. They did indeed.
Pulled a Swiftie on Philly, didn't they?
Yeah, that's right. Didn't that fall over or he got cold feet?
Yeah.
He agreed, and then he said, "No, I'm going to Europe." And then Vlade called him and said, "Come to Sacramento." And he went to Sacramento.
I am Europe.
Sound like
Excellent.
Andre the Giant.
Excellent.
But yeah,
They want the peanut.
I do like the moves he's made. I think they're finally on the right track, and if they stick with it, shrewd trades or draft picks, I think they'll be in the playoffs. Not this year, but in a couple, maybe 3.
Yeah, the same. I mean, hats off to Vlade. He's slowly putting pieces together. And, I was only saying to a mate the other day, he seems to, exactly what you said, finally not getting ripped off in deals. He was like, let's fleece the Yugoslav and we'll ring him up for a deal. He's, I like what he's putting together. He's got, shooters, he's got speed, he's got vets, he's got length. It's absolutely not a playoff roster, but mate, Sacramento fans, you could be doing worse. I think it's a decent effort. They'll win. Oh, jeez, they might have given 30 games.
Yeah, maybe. I could probably see that. It's convincing myself in my head. Sorry. Look, you guys touch on everything I was going to say. Really excited to see if Harry Giles can stay healthy. Be really good to see him have a big year in Sacramento. I love Buddy Hield. Love De'Aaron Fox. Do you think I kind of feel like he's like a poor man's Oladipo a little bit? Just his game.
He's 100 miles an hour. I'll give him that.
He's
he has
fast, man.
7,000 teeth in his mouth.
That's true. I'll take that as a yes.
I don't know if he's not that good.
No, he's definitely not that good. But I just feel like his game feels very much modelled after him a little bit.
Yeah,
similar, man. Just similar. That's all.
He's like It's like he doesn't know if he's a point guard or a shooting guard, but he's not a shooting guard.
Yeah, he's definitely not a shooting guard.
You know what I mean? Like he's definitely a one, but he doesn't. I don't know. He kind of plays like he's not, but he definitely isn't a shooting guard. So I don't know. He's got to work that out, and I think a lot of that comes from Hield needing to, really take control of this offense. It's got to be Hield's team.
Not making the playoffs. So yeah, let's move on. We have the San Antonio Spurs next, gentlemen. Some interesting early injuries to their point guard situation. Looks like Patty Mills going to be taken over.
Oh boy, oh boy. Look, I like DeMar DeRozan. I really do. But if this team if any of their fans thinks that this team is a title contender, you are in for massive disappointment. They won't win 50 games this year.
What?
I'll tell you that much. They will not win 50 games. They'll win in the 40s. They're good enough for that with the players they've got and the coaching of Pop. But that's it. And it's only going to get worse year by year.
Wow.
And I wish Pau Gasol would come back and finish his career at Lakers because...
Of course you do.
What?
Of course you do. I think you say that every time we talk about the Spurs.
I know, because I love him. I love Pau so much.
Oh, my goodness. Get a room. Stu, some thoughts on the Spurs?
I would get a room with Pau.
I know you would. That's the scary thing. I know you would.
Okay, so I don't think you needed to make it clear to anybody that the San Antonio Spurs aren't winning 50 games this year because everybody knows they're not winning 50 games this year.
Are they winning 40?
Oh, they might limp over it, but they're not playoff bound.
What?
Whoa. Hello?
What?
No, not playoff bound. That's my...
I like it, Benson.
Outrageous.
I like it.
fearless prediction. They are out. It's going to be sad. It's going to be disappointing. No, it's going to be a shit way for Pop to go out, and this is the official beginning of the end.
I think you are underselling this franchise and their ability to bounce back, their ability to pluck fucking amazing players out of the second round last pick. Like, just fuck it, man. There's no way this.
All good things come to an end.
Do they though? Do they? Or did they just reinvent themselves and become even better?
Nah, not this.
That's not this squad, but they're making the playoff. This team is playoff bound. Of course it is. Look what they made. They fucking got a game on Golden State. They made the playoffs with fucking Kawhi out last season.
Fuck me. Fucking hell, you know when that big thunderclap happened, did your fucking brain jump out of your head?
You're fucking dreaming. This team's of course they're going to make the fucking playoffs. They've got... I'm so glad...
Why all of a sudden do you just have this massive love affection, hard on for the Spurs?
I'm just saying they're making the playoffs.
Have a look at the state of their roster.
I'm just saying they're going to make the playoffs.
I agree. I think they'll make the playoffs.
They're a better team than last year, that's all.
Oh, you've lost it.
What
mate.
are you talking about?
No.
They didn't even have... You can't even count Kawhi last year. You didn't play for him last year.
Oh, the instability of not having Parker, of not having Ginobili, of having...
Fucking Parker. Parker hasn't been there for fucking years. Come on now. Fucking hell. He's there. The fucking ghost of Tony Parker's still sitting on the fucking bench. Come on now. Fuck. This is a great opportunity for Patty Mills to get the starting reins and fucking do something. Fuck.
Oh, well, welcome to the third round.
Fucking hell.
Hey, Wayne, I love Patty Mills, but he should be starting.
Mate, I think this is a good opportunity for him to show that he's more than just a fucking off the bench shooter. You know, he's capable. He's a vet. He's smart. He knows the system. So that's all pluses.
You know what? Slap bet.
No, fuck you. Pay up first.
All right, I'll pay up, and then we'll record the podcast. I'm not gonna.
Why don't you double or nothing it?
No, I'm not double or nothing. Pay your fucking debts.
I owe the Pell slap.
Way overdue from both of you.
It'll be paid. But sorry, guys, this is going to be the year.
I think we said that for too many years. We should know better. Man, I think this squad is coached by one of the best coaches in the league. It's a fantastic franchise, no matter how badly Kawhi tried to shit on it last year. And look, I think they're going to be fine. I think they're going to be fine. Look, they're not going to compete for the title. They're not going to compete for the title.
It's going to be fine. Everything's going to be fine.
Everything's fine. But they'll still make the playoffs. They'll still make the playoffs.
He's like Crusty the Crown. Everything's going to be all right.
Continue.
It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. It's totally fine. We're fine. Yeah?
Come on.
Now, this is when you play the Kawhi laugh.
Oh, God. This is that's too much. I can't handle this.
Come on. Playoff bound or lottery sound, Vince?
The San Antonio Snooze?
Yes.
They're sneaking into the playoffs. Look, I've actually got them at 6th, and that's just because I respect Pop.
Oh, fucking hell.
All right, I'm going to switch them and Denver. I'm going to say Denver 6 and Spurs 7th. How's that?
No way. They're better.
But that's only because Pop. I just think
It's still a factor.
Players have got-
It still counts.
and Pop coaching. Yeah.
Let's go to our final team, and that is the OK City Thunder. If you've been following at home, wow, what's wrong with you? But everyone will have them down for the playoffs because they're the only team left and everyone's got one spot open. So, OKC Thunder, let's talk about the Thunder. How deep can this squad go, guys?
I just think it's going to be much the same as last season. Probably give or take an extra 5 wins. I mean, I like Nerlens Noel. Dennis Schroeder's a handy pickup. But I just, I can see a second round exit. I can see 45, 50 wins. Is that wrong?
No.
Nothing, don't get me wrong, I love Steven Adams, even though he's a Kiwi. I'll just say that to annoy Tanae. Listen, bro. But yeah, it's the same as, look at the team from last year to this year. We've added a handful of players, if that, and it's just the same, 45, 50 wins. It doesn't excite me.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, look, they totally didn't utilise Carmelo Anthony last season. We saw that. We definitely saw that in that Utah series because, as you pointed out, Vince, earlier in the show, he was only getting the last second, 3 seconds on the clock, throw-ups attempts. So what do you expect from the guy? This really comes down to what we all sort of brought up after Westbrook's MVP season, with the season of triple-doubles, which was fantastic, great achievement. But we didn't want to see that last year. And unfortunately, that's kind of what we got. Paul George was good last year, though, credit. But unless they're willing to sacrifice, I think that was the biggest key for them last year. Just highlighting that Utah series, there was no sacrifice for the wins. Do you know what I mean? Like, the numbers look great for Westbrook. That's fantastic. But, I mean, if you're walking away with the L is still an L. Yeah, I think they desperately need to make some changes. I think moving Schroeder into the starting point guard position and having Westbrook at the 2 guard, like he played at college at UCLA, I think that's a really good move going forward. But they're going to play for the wins, not for the stat column. They'll make the playoffs, of course, but I don't see them going deep at all.
I can see them finishing either 4th or 5th. I think their win tally will be more than last season. Just because they won't be adding pieces. It'll be, what they come into the season with should be what they finish the season with. I think Schroeder makes them better. I think not having to work Melo into the offense helps them. I'm not sure. I heard there was a setback with Andre Roberson's injury.
Yeah, there is, yeah.
But he makes them better, and they missed him. I think they're better on paper. I think their output will be better. But again, I don't know how deep they could possibly go there. I mean, look, we've all got them as a lock for the playoffs. I think in hindsight, it's a bit shitty that they gave up Enes Kanter for a 4-month Carmelo Anthony rental, because that's all that ended up being. Yeah. And Kanter is somebody that they could definitely use come playoff time.
It's a guy that they got production out without having to run anything for.
Yeah.
And Adams is, not that he's inefficient or anything like that, but he's so tied up doing everything else. You don't really get to see the good Steven Adams. Like last year was, I mean, he still had a fantastic season. He's still tough as nuts, but he's just so tied up now. At least when you plugged in a guy like Cantor, yeah, it's like it took that pressure off him.
Yeah, I think that there will be a pretty good dynamic with Adams and Noel. I mean, they went through high school and AAU together as opponents, but they were on every single camp, every single tour, every single All-Star game all the way through. And they've known each other since they were essentially like 13 years old. So they're going to have a good relationship. I hope it translates to the court. They kind of complement each other well. Should be some spurts where we see them on the court together as a power forward center combination. But look, again, just to echo the same sentiment, they're playoff bound, but I think same old again.
If it doesn't work out for him this year, let's just move the squad back to Seattle. Fuck him. You had your fun, okay, Steve?
I'd love to see that happen. It won't. Oh, speaking of that, though, Seattle have just been approved for a brand new stadium.
Yeah.
So
That.
But not
it's
for
closer
basketball.
than you think.
Not for basketball, though.
No, it's ice hockey, basketball, you name it.
That'd be fantastic. Let's make that happen.
I'm on it.
Well, that wraps up our Western Conference predictions. Interesting. We want to hear your thoughts, guys. Some bold claims. Of course, you can catch all the Courtside Madness at the website www.crtsde.podbean.com. Down there, guys, you'll find all the links to the shows, our previous shows, our mini-sodes, our Courtside Present shows. You can also find links to the Facebook page. You can find us on Twitter. It's all down there for you. Please subscribe and come hang out with us. A couple of bros.
That's an interesting new thing you're doing.
Couple of bros. Hanging out, talking hoops. No, let's not do that.
What do I have to say to make sure that doesn't make it noise? You'll have cunt or something?
And that stays as well.
Here it comes. Watch out! Here it comes.